welcome, welcome, welcome to the Christmas edition. And how are you today, Sueanne?
Feeling great. Happy holidays, David.
Happy holidays. I think we need to have some energy to this little chat today. And our first little slide, we're here. And let's see if I can get it bigger. It's not necessarily allowing me to do that. Can you read that
That's
anyway?
okay. Yep, that's good. All I want for Christmas. We keep moving forward, opening new doors and doing new things because we're curious and curiosity keeps leading us down new paths.
How does that work for you as a nice invitation from Walt Disney, one of the most creative people, the creators that we probably have seen in North America?
It's actually appropriate because it's been a year, 2020 really has been a year of unknowns. And so it's actually asked all of us to really take a step back and really be curious about what are the things that are important and ask those questions.
So let's just see if we get the next slide. That's what I thought. Maybe it doesn't like me to do that, so that's okay. So we will end that component and move to this component and see, are you able to see that? There we go.
Yes.
What do you want for Christmas?
What do you want for Christmas? This is a good question.
Have you got an answer?
I want really to just be with my family, be with my friends, be with the ones that are really close to me. And I just want a peaceful, I want a joyful, I want a fun Christmas.
That's pretty clear. And the government has actually helped you this year because we're residing in one of the most high lockdown places on the planet. And so many of the things that you're asking for, it looks like you're going to get. This was a day that I was in the Sahara Desert a number of years ago. It was Love of Animals Day. And we were meditating. And we talked about clarity and that clarity is power.
Did you move your slide?
Did you not? Oh, you can't see that right now?
No.
Okay, wonderful. I'm able to see it there. And I love technology. There we go. Can you see that?
Yes.
All right. Can you read the quote, please?
Clarity is power. Clarity is that momentum that has no resistance. And when you're in that place of clarity, the feeling of what to do next is right there.
And that's from Abraham Hicks.
Mm.
So we brought a little bit of Walt Disney, who is perhaps one of the greatest designers, creators, somebody who had a vision and made it happen. And the next part was to invite Abraham Hicks in a way that we might be able to communicate with clarity to our higher self. You can think about the Sahara Desert, since it's probably the opposite to where we're currently experiencing life in the cold tundra of Canada. And it allows another visual to perhaps use your creativity in 2021, yet also reflect back at 2020 and 2020 with all of the different experiences that you had. So when you read this quote or see this picture, what's the first thing that comes to you?
Clarity. The universe is bigger than what we can see immediately in front of us. So with clarity, you're able to reach within and sense how you're part of that universe.
I think some people who might have been watching us, they might have thought we got stuck there. No, we didn't get stuck there. She was actually processing the question. She was breathing into the question, and she was welcoming the question. And that, I just want to let people know that sometimes when you really embrace the question and slow down, it can often lead to some of the most beautiful messages. Would you agree?
Yes, very much so.
So that's dancing with sometimes the words, the energy, the vitality. And so well done. So that's really wonderful to really taste that word, sense that word, and be able to slow down to a point where it flows. And so in this little session, I wanted to go through an exercise with you today, and maybe we'll energize it a little bit as if we've just done a nice walk out in nature, had some lots of energy from this beautiful fresh air of Canada, and go through this process that I am very curious to see what will transpire, because it really can be a lot of fun. And so I wanted to do a deeper dive with you on Ikigai.
Mm-hmm.
And so a little bit of energy, a little bit of vitality. Yet let's see what comes out from this, a little back and forth. It should take about 8 minutes. There's 4 questions. For some of you who might be watching this, I invite you to write things down. In fact, Sueanne, after that, we might fill in some answers, because I have a feeling it could be really, really cool. The first question is, what lights you up? What do you love doing? What are you passionate about? Just tell me a number of things, and then I'm going to fill it in a little bit, because some people get confused with the word passion. Yet, if you could simply share, what are some of the things that light you up? What do you love doing? What are you passionate about? Go ahead and share with me.
Writing.
Yes, writing lights you up.
Yes. I enjoy exercise, running, walking, things that keep me active.
Mhm.
I love when I get new sparks of ideas,
Mhm.
because it leads to really creative ways. I'm a very creative person, so whenever anything pops up into my mind, it always leads to something very beautiful and very creative.
Mhm.
And I, yeah, anything that's creative, really, right? Anything that's creative is really, really
Let's
where.
shift from anything to
Mhm.
specifically. What recently has really lit you up, or what have you done lately that you really loved, or that you just had this sense that, wow, this is just so cool? Give me 1 or 2 other things.
Well, a good example is this morning I actually wrote a song, the beginnings of a song, and it was a very personal journey, and it was also a very enlightening journey in writing that song. So that's one thing. Another thing is I've been going through a transformation, a personal journey, and I've had some miraculous things happening that are just giving me a whole new view of who I am and where I'm going, and what the purpose is for me in this life. So these are the things that are lighting me up right now.
When I hear you say miraculous things, could you say that miracles light you up? Miracles? You love miracles? You're
Yes,
passionate about experiencing or noticing miracles?
I'm noticing miracles. I'm noticing things that I had not seen before. I'm becoming very aware. And so these are creating emotions and energy within me that is actually enhancing some of the things that I'm writing.
Can
And
I ask you about lighting you up? Can I imagine that when you have a great conversation with your daughter or your son or your mom or your dad, that really lights you up?
yes, because it's giving me insight into where they are. And it's also giving me insight into me in terms of how am I discerning this? How am I um, nurturing this conversation or nurturing this experience?
So can I sense or feel that You love having great communication or conversations where you get to observe yourself, yet you also maybe get to nurture and observe others, yet not force anything, yet just really be so present to the moment, and you allow the energy of the love force to come through you.
Yes, that's very much true.
Okay, great, good job. It's very different than just saying, what are you passionate about? And then some guys, I'm passionate about cars. I'm passionate about art. No, see, we have to dig deep when it comes to this, because quite often we haven't really gone that deep with our awareness with some of these concepts.
And to add to that, it's also in that discovery, because I said creativity, painting. I am rediscovering painting, and that is reigniting a passion that I've had for a very long time. So painting is also another avenue which is allowing my creative energies to be expressed.
I love the idea of rediscovery, reigniting, and re-experiencing, because there is this re-component that could be really important in experiencing passion as a new being in 2021 as opposed to 1980 or 1990. And so that's pretty cool. Thank you so much. You've given me some really nice feedback also on the ways to explore. Let's see if this technology will take us to the next one. The next question is, oh, what are you good at? Now, again, this is remove the humility, remove the shyness, remove. Now, what skills do you have? Again, let's just do a little quick back and forth. So what are you good at? Come on, energy. What are you good at? Organizing. Yes, you're very good at organizing. I know you're very good. You're very thoughtful. Okay,
I
yes.
know you just said to be not to forget about the humility. It's just there are so what's coming to mind is, as you just said, organizing. What naturally comes to me are problem solving. So I have the ability of, again, going back to creativity, I can problem solve in very creative ways. I think outside of the box. And I have an innate way of connecting with people. And that allows me to empathize with them and to be with them in that moment, in whatever they may be going through. And I'm good at planning. So things like project management, things like that. I'm really adept at doing that. I'm very good at, I don't know if this is a skill, but I can adapt in certain situations when I need to.
Sounds like a chameleon.
Not a chameleon, just
Not changing colors, changing spots, just being who you are, yet
just being who I am. Yeah.
very good. So very good at creativity, expression, connecting, project management, getting things done, talented at being part of a process to deliver a result.
Yes.
Excellent. Any other talents you want to maybe mention? Are you talented at dancing, singing, poetry, any other cooking, any other things that you're good at?
Oh, cooking, yes. Poetry, yes. I feel that I'm see, poetry comes when I feel that energy. Would I say that I'm the best or at it?
No, we're not into comparing. It's about,
Okay.
and actually you're very good at speaking up.
Yes. When it needs to be said, I will say what I feel needs to be said.
Very good. Excellent. How do you feel about that? Again, when we've done passion and talents now, feeling pretty good?
Feeling pretty good.
All right, well, let's move to the next one. Let's see if we can skip and dig deep into the next topic. Not gonna want me to. Please. Okay. What big problems need to be solved in the world? What does the world need? Share with me two or three of when you look around the globe, what needs to be solved?
Unity. We need to get back to a place where we actually look out for each other and have a sense of um, being one with each other, respecting our planet. And when I say respecting the planet, how we use the resources in the planet. And it starts with ourselves. So if we are just throwing things away, we have to be conscious of where is that stuff going. So, for example, the oceans. There are a couple of sustainable companies now that are dragging the oceans to get plastics and toxic things out of the ocean to save our whales and dolphins and sharks and all the marine animals that need the water. Likewise, there are individuals who are leading organizations that are looking at ways to protect our ozone layers, looking at ways to conserve the trees that give us air, conserve the water that allows us to survive and thrive. And there are also individuals who are actually, going from door to door, looking in on people and finding ways to help them realize they can get past some of their traumas. But that's all part of unity in terms of looking out for each other and understanding that when you respect yourself, that respect translates into everything else that you do. So every small step you take in terms of recycling or preserving the water, or even acknowledging the beauty of the world, you are taking a step towards the greater unity that we need to feel that we belong and we matter.
All right, let me that was greatly shared. Thank you so much. And if what I'm hearing is one, you would love to be involved in uplifting consciousness in cleanliness, kindness for Mother Earth, cleansing and clearing, assisting Mother Earth with the water, with the trees, with the air, the connection with other human beings, the respect, the listening, the ability to uplift and to encourage people to tap into their skills, talents, nice inner feelings so that it flows in an outer way to make this world a better place.
Mm-hmm.
That sound
Very nicely said.
all right? Give myself a little pat on the shoulder because maybe that's one of the things I love to do is to communicate yet also give feedback to people. So let's go to the next one. Da, 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 da. Let's see the next one. We might have to move us. There we go. Yes. Fourth is about finance. What can you be paid for? How can you provide for yourself? Share with me 3, 4, or 5 ways you can earn money.
Finance.
The first one's a job. So keep going though. Like maybe what are some of the things that you can do to make money? Just share with, just brainstorm, just throw them out.
Well, I'm also a writer. I'm an author, so selling my books and future books to come. I'm in the process of writing a 3-part series, so we'll see where that abundance comes from.
So that's a
From
very different
that,
one. You being able to write,
mm-hmm.
there's a commercial side of writing that
Yes,
yes, you can be paid to write, you can write copy, you can
yes.
be paid for writing. The other side about as an author, most authors don't make very much money because they don't go and study the business of writing. They don't
So,
put the effort and time to be good at marketing and distribution. My dear friend Mark Victor Hansen, he often would say to me, he goes, "Hey, I'm not a very good writer, but I'm a damn good marketer." And so he's not the world's best writer. He's the best-selling author. And so
Yes.
very nice distinction that Mark shared with me a number of times when we were in Bali and LA. And it's something, maybe if possible, I'll introduce you to, I'll be able to connect you to Mark Victor Hansen next year, and maybe he can be part of your marketing funnel.
Yes, that would be so great. But in light of that, I have been paid for doing some writing. So that has been an avenue of finance for me.
Yes. So that's
And
2 or 3?
two, I guess, because jobs
Writing.
and writing. And the question, how can you provide for yourself? Expand on that for me.
Well, again, what are some ways that you can create cash flow? I think the easiest question is, what are 2 or 3 ways that you can create cash flow?
Business.
What does that mean? What type of business? I guess I'm looking for a little more of the vitality energy here, not so much the thoughtful spiritual. It's more of, I could set up a Fiverr account and do writing. I could write people's copy for their website. I could, what else could you do? You could do project management. You could do event management. You could do babysitting. You could do elderly care. There's so many ways that you could make money, yet that's what the question is.
Okay. So ideally, if this is just blue sky, I would ideally set up an events type program where I'm, bringing people to the stage and setting up events where people can learn and get compensated for those efforts. I mentioned about being paid for writing and copywriting, and that has proved, based on what I've been doing, to be successful. So I have to do more of that. And I would say that those are pretty much 2 of the key things for me anyway.
Super. We will continue to explore this. I think what's happened is that our generation, there's all of these new ways that young people are creating money. Like they're creating money. Like we have a 9-year-old with 27 million followers. He does reviews on games, and he made $27 million this year on just from YouTube. And then he made another $200 million in commercial agreements. So there's so many of these new industries that if we're not playing in the latest space, there's people, 50-year-olds on TikTok making like 6 figures now. So there's all of these ways that can be explored. Maybe we will explore in the future, especially in some of our meetup groups like Canada Startup or a business skills development for Brampton, some of the things on YouTube. So those are maybe some of the things to experiment with. Maybe yes?
Yes.
All right. So let's go. Thank you so much. So did you enjoy this deeper dive into Ikigai?
It requires some real thinking here because I did not it's not that I did not. These are things that have been percolating with me for a long time. And now I'm asking myself, am I making a commitment to myself to really action these things? And so it does require you to really do a little bit of thinking, even though you've encouraged me to just, brainstorm and stuff like that.
One little shift as a coach, mentor, as a facilitator, it's shifting the you to an I might have an impact too. Because again, I believe in your professional, it's like you often would talk about we and as a team. And with some of this work, shifting to I is a big step for people.
Yes. Yes.
Good job. Let's go and give you a little visual, just because I know that you love visuals. And so can you see that?
No, not yet.
There we go. Then let's see if I can do it even better. One of my favorite phrases. And now you can, I believe. Yes?
Yes.
So I love this little slide because what most people do, though, I've noticed, is that they'll go just do this slide. They won't do the deep dive that we just did. And so if I take you around, it's if you look at your passion and what you're good at, quite often that leads to satisfaction, but a feeling of uselessness.
Mm.
And so this actually looks at both the light and the dark of working with Ikigai. And so if we talk about what you love to do and what the world needs, it's your mission, yet it can often lead to both a positive and a negative energy. This combination to get different projects, different initiatives working with you, for you, to bring more of that Ikigai, reason for being, into one's life can be fun to explore. It's a nice visual. When I first saw it, I decided to draw it because, as you're aware, drawing and coloring has been part of my 2020. And this was one of the things I did draw a couple of times. And I find it to be quite fun. When you look at this, any specific question that pops up for you?
Yes. So in the areas where things are overlapping, why are those statements blended with negativity?
Because if that's all there is and there isn't the fullness of all four, there tends to be a benefit yet also a lack. Okay, so if you have what you can be paid for and what the world needs, it can become a sense of emptiness if it's just doing it for the money. If you just go and become, see what this is trying to do is, if all you're doing is serving the world, you become a do-gooder, yet you're broke. One of the things in wealth creation we tend to teach is you can't help the poor by being poor. If you have inner wealth, you can share that. You don't necessarily have to have all money as the way to serve. Yet, again, having money to be able to serve can often help people more by actually having a full resourcefulness.
And why are we, I guess my question is, are people aware of this tool, or
well, I introduced
are we aware of it but have not really paid attention to it?
Oh, I believe the feelings from it are well known to people because these are feelings. So you might have an executive at a bank and he's well paid and he's really good at his job, but guess what? He's comfortable, but he's left empty. So what's happening in most corporatocracy around the world? You have a whole layer of people, great skilled people, rich people, but poor inside. So that's why many companies are trying to create programs where staff can take a week off and go and plant some trees, or they can go help some orphanages, or work on clearing up the ocean. So the top companies in the States, in a way to be able to retain good people, they're giving them sabbaticals. They're allowing them to have time off, leave of absences. So this is something that I think there's a knowingness to it, yet this visual gives some explanation to it also. So we get a deeper understanding of why, like, I got everything in my life, yet I'm so miserable. Well, it's because maybe you're not doing what you love to do, and maybe you're not doing anything to contribute to humanity. So that's why when I first saw this, I really liked it. And it was funny. It was 3 years ago that I first taught this in Singapore at a Christmas presentation that was all about success and Ikigai. And that's where Dolly Yo first saw it, and it was her first time to be exposed to it. And now she runs Ikigai Love in Singapore because it's such a beautiful model that can be readily used to assist people. Any other question?
In what ways has this helped you?
So many ways, because it's given me a tool to be able to talk to anybody very quickly, 15 minutes. And by quickly going through some of these questions, people can get an aha moment, is that even if they schedule learning or they schedule contribution into their life for the next year, it's a beautiful tool for the reflecting back into this year, the manifest forward for next year, the planning and activities and explorations, and being able to create this dynamic where you bring in what you love, what you're good at, what you can be paid at, what the world needs. And it allows this almost a rhythm to the spirit flowing. Any other questions on that? Or should we
I'm
move
good.
on to the
I'm
next
good.
little
Let's move.
slide? I'm not sure. Oh, okay. So, would you like to read this, or would you like me to read it, or shall we read it together?
We can take turns reading it together. Let's see what
Are you going to start off with the first
Sure, I can start.
two sentences?
I,
Take a
I
deep
haven't
breath
seen
in.
I haven't seen your slide though.
Okay. All right. So I got to do this. Got to do this. I guess I need to go like that. And
So
here
how
we
do
go.
you want to read two sentences, or where do you want to
Yes.
pick up?
I would like to read two sentences, but it's now locking. Okay, go ahead and read it.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure.
It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous?
Actually, who are you not to be? You're a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world.
There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you.
We were born to manifest the glory of God that is within us.
It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone.
And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same.
As we are liberated from our fear,
our presence automatically liberates others.
Thank you, Marianne Williamson. And thank you, Sueanne. When you read that, what's your response?
It's very true. As I mentioned before, I've been going through a process right now, and I have been playing small, and I am discovering the magnificence of the power that and the gifts that I've been given. And I'm curious to see how that will expand and how I will make a difference.
Well, I think you're doing a great job. 2020 has been wonderful as a connection, reconnection, a revitalization, a re-energizing, and it's been fantastic to be part of that wonderful experience. I'm going to invite 3 people to join us from around the world now that will share a little bit about their story as an inspiration to anyone who might be watching this. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
So let's go first one, which I think I've shared a little bit of her story with you, and I'm a big fan. And let's just hop over to here. And when you say the screen, I would ask you to tell me what you know about her.
Women of inspiration. So this young lady has built a charity to promote goodwill. And so basically, and please forgive me because I want to make sure that
I will fine tune anything. That,
okay.
I just wanted your drop about what you've learned or what you've heard about Masami Sato, the co-founder of Buy One Give One, and just in a little 5 or 10 seconds, share with me what your idea is, and then around her, and then I'll fill it in a little bit.
Okay. So basically she's going out to work with various companies and organizations from a charitable perspective. And so when you buy uh, one of the gifts that her organization is offering, that will also be donated out. So I hope I've
Okay, let me fine tune, because again, that I've talked about it a little bit. Buy one, give one is a social enterprise, and they work with entrepreneurs to have global impact. The power of small. So say you are a bookmaker, someone buys your book. You could then, with buy one, give one, connect with a school in Africa to provide a book to any child, or crayons or pencils. So buy one from you, give one to someone else around the world. When we had our resorts, come to our resort, stay a night, get your vision, get your clarity. We would give money to a foundation that would give cataract surgery to blind Balinese. Get vision, give vision. And so buy one, give one facilitates that, because entrepreneurs have too much to focus on than trying to be a charity. Because if you focus on trying to be a charity, you're probably going to have to ask for charitable donations. Buy one, give one is the power of small, where the gift of buying gives the gift of giving. That's the idea behind it.
nice.
Sound good? And
Sounds
now
good.
her organization, I believe, has done over 187 million gifts of giving with their partners globally. We're
Very
inviting you to check them out, b1g1.com. Masami is a best-selling author. English is her second language. She's written 4 books in English, an amazing inspirational leader who will often tell the stories of others on the way that their impacts are having huge impact. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Next lady, I don't know if you know very much about this lady, yet I just got off a call with her in India, and we are doing some really cool things. And her name is Maya Shahani. And Maya is transforming education in India, yet she's also the co-founder of the Global Dialogue Foundation, which is all about unity and diversity.
Mm.
And
I'm not familiar with Maya.
Yeah, so Maya is one of my inspirations. She put out to the universe a couple of years ago, when Bill Clinton was still very active, and she says, "Oh, I'd really like to meet Bill." And within 90 days, we were able to actually co-create the opportunity for her to meet Bill Clinton in Hong Kong. And
Very
so
nice.
Maya is doing some amazing activities, not only in India through her network of engineering schools, of business schools, of collaborations. She's also going around the world promoting and encouraging activities that allow people to express their culture, communication, and unity and diversity.
Mm. Beautiful.
So we might have a chance to introduce you to her probably within the next 49 days.
Mm.
How would that be?
That'd be beautiful.
And last but not least, I wanted to bring in one of my wonderful dear friends from Malaysia, who we have been doing collaborative projects for 10 years. This is Antam. She's transforming. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. So she is transforming education along with her sister, Melinda, in Malaysia. And she is very clear on her why. I've interviewed her. You want to check out our interview. It's on Continual Shift on YouTube. She is a woman of transformation, started the first entrepreneur school for kids in Malaysia. And it just so happens, I believe in about 14 days, I'm doing a program for her in Malaysia virtually, yet very much into inspiring and equipping students with the skills to not just survive, yet to thrive in a chaotic, transforming world. And so this is Antam. We want to send our best and our well wishes and our lots of love to the team at Dwi Imas International School, Sri Imas International School in Malaysia, transforming education.
Very nice.
Any questions or thoughts when you hear a little bit about Antam or any of these wonderful women of inspiration?
It's actually quite uplifting. I'm feeling so inspired in that, because these are some of the things that I'm looking to do. as I move forward. And what I feel is central to what you've just shared is just how nurturing the programs that they are promoting and building. And what it goes back to what I said before, they're really focusing on unifying, and they're also focusing on building people so that they can be a better version of themselves.
Thank you so very much for joining me today. It's been an amazing opportunity to work with you and our wonderful network in South Africa, in Malaysia, and Singapore, here in Canada, in Australia. And it's been so much fun doing experiments in social media. And we want to wish everybody in our little beautiful community a wonderful Christmas, a beautiful New Year's, and may 2021 truly be whatever you choose it to be. And I'm just wondering, what message would you like to share with everybody in the network and around who might get to see this?
My message would be kind and know that there is much love to share and there's much love to give.
Thank you. And I'm going to finish it up with that little meditation that was just shared with me from our lovely friend from the First Nations. And Elaine shared this, and I adapted it because that's what my type of creativity flourishes in. If I'm given something to give, fine tuning it and make it more coming from my component of the universe. And so this was created by the grand organizing designer, and the fact that he and she invited us to be vision people. First, we set a goal, a milestone, or a dream. Then we can close our eyes and we can see it. If we create within ourselves a picture, a dream, a vision, and we hold that picture or vision in our third eye, in our mind, whatever we picture and see will show up in our reality. If we can see ourselves being happy and playful, then fun and uplifting experience will present themselves. If we see ourselves educated, then schools and teachers will show up in our lives. If we picture ourselves in a positive spirituality, then people in our lives will be attracted, people of higher level relationships, spirituality, and communication will appear. How big an impact would you like your dreams to be? The creator, the grand organizing designer. Let my vision be your vision. Kindly put within me the vision of being that you would be. Then guide me, nurture me, infuse the bravery, kindness, and joy in me to see and live the vision in my life. With that, I invite everyone to explore their meditation. Invite visions of what you choose and have a glorious completion to 2020 and a delightful, joyful, peaceful, amazing, miraculous 2021. With that, Sueanne, thank you very much. We wish
Thank
everyone
you.
in the neighborhood, doesn't have to be Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, yet it could be, a absolutely brilliant rest of 2020. Namaste.
Namaste.